All right, what we're going to do is we're going to get into our back line decompression. So we're going to lay on our backs. And from here, we're going to have our knees, find a slight bend to our knees, and our heels are going to be pressing down, away from each other, and towards the back of the wall. So we're going to bring our heels in and away. And we're going to create some space between our lower back, so from the lower back to the floor. And we're just going to do some decompression breathing. And we're going to follow my cues on these decompression breaths. So what we want to do on this decompression breathing, as we've talked about before, is we want to bring the breath into the backside of our body, so removing a lot of movement from our belly, from the expanding and decompressing of the belly. So we're going to focus on bringing length into our back, into the sides and back of our rib cage, through the back of our neck, and then exhaling, we're going to grow long through our feet and our head, reaching to the opposing sides of the walls. So we're going to find an exhale, and we're going to inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to inhale for 5, deepening the back of our rib cage. 2, 1. Exhaling and growing long. So we're going to think our head is expanding to the back of the wall, our feet are expanding to the front. 1, 0. And inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now we're going to try one last breath into our back, but we're going to try to focus on not expanding the front of our rib cage, but really see what it means to bring it into the back. 3, 2, 1, and exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to reach our hands 90 degrees above us, and we're going to bring our fingertips together, and we're going to reach our shoulders away from the floor as far as they can go, and we're going to find some decompression breaths in this position, and we're going to do 3 of those as well. We're going to inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Follow that same pace. See if we can bring it into the back. So minimizing the movement even on the exhale. So on the exhale, it's like we're almost blowing out of our stomach. And we're creating this armor around this midsection. We're going to inhale. Think about ripping the feet apart. We should find no pinch in our hip flexors. Everything should be light in this area. And exhale. We're going to do one more inhale. And exhale. Now at the bottom of our exhale, we're going to guide our arms even further back at a 45 degree, and we're going to find some lengthening through some more decompression breaths. We're going to inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 5, and engage the belly, have the belly engaged. And on the exhale, try not to release from, there we go. rib cage stay lower when you're, that was a good breath. Find that again, one more last time. Create that armor, and exhale. Drill long, find some length. Cool. Now we're just going to lay our hands to the side of our body. We'll just take a second. How did that feel? Yeah?
Yeah, I can feel like this stuff release.
Right.
You know, like when the breath works really well, I can feel this like go.
Right. Right. It's funny, me too, when I'm working on decompression breathing, and if I find myself trapped in the front, I really feel a little bit more engagement in my hip flexors. And then the moments where I'm able to find it into the back body, it's like I find that release in this area as well.
Yeah.
All right, now we're going to get into our tummy, and we're going to get into the front line decompression. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put our hands underneath our shoulders, and we're going to keep our feet to the width of the mat, and our heels pressing away. Our knees are going to be neutral, and we're going to be pressing our knees against the floor, our hands underneath our shoulders, and we're going to lift our forehead off the floor about 2-3 inches, and we're going to find that same decompression breathing. And we can go on my count on your next exhale. We're going to inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2. Exhale for 6. Growing long, finding your head towards the front of the wall. 2, 1. We're going to think about that same armor. So we're going to inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One last 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We could lay our cheek on the side of the mat. We'll just take a second here. So again, it's when we're finding that decompression breathing, we're trying to regulate the front by not expanding and compressing through the front. So there's going to be as little of movement in our stomach as possible. And we'll feel that when on our floor, because you'll feel the tummy expand against the floor. It's like it's a tall tale.
Yeah, it's an easier indication.
Yeah, it will definitely indicate. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put our hands below our shoulders, and we're going to create some space between our shoulders and our ears. So we're going to bring those shoulders back. We're going to lift our forehead off the floor, and we're going to lift our hands off the floor as well. And we're going to find 3 decompression breaths here. So on your next exhale, we're going to inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 6, 2, 1. Keeping the momentum of that breath. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 6, 5. Nice and slow exhales through the mouth, calm face. And our next inhale, we're not going to rush the inhale. We're going to slowly sip from the straw. So we're going to inhale for 5, 4, 3. In the back space with a lot of breath that it could take. So exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Put your hands down and lay a cheek on the floor. Take a couple more seconds. You move your body around a bit. Just trying to find lanes. We're trying to find space in our body before we get into these movements. So on this next one, I'll have you look at me real quick. We're gonna do some decompression breathing through our side body. So we're gonna also, same feet position, right? Our feet are gonna be wide. Tops of the feet could be down, or we could be on our toes, heels away, pressure on our knees, creating space between our hip and the mat. And this time we're gonna reach our left arm to the right side, and that's gonna rotate our head to be stacked on top of our right foot. And we're to keep our head on the floor, and our right hand is going to be reaching towards our right hip, the right lower rib cage. And now we're going to do some decompression breathing into our side left body.
Okay.
So we're going to reach
Is
our
the right hand down?
the right hand is down, and it's going to be right
it-
next to
and
my
it comes
hip.
in, right?
And
It goes towards your feet.
And comes towards my feet. And so your right hip might have a slight movement up.
Okay.
And so we're going to reach our left hand to the right side. And our head's going to stack over our foot. You're going to reach your left hand as far as it can go. And you can even bring your right hand even lower. There we go. And then we find that C shape, that curvature. And now we're going to breathe. We're going to find some inhale breaths. So we're going to inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You could even put your fingertips on the floor. And we're going to really focus on finding this breath reaching through our left side. So inhale the same amount. And on your exhale, slowly push the air out. On this next inhale, see if you can reach your left hand even closer to that right wall. And find that exhale lengthening this side body. We're going to find one more inhale. And grow longer on this exhale. Nice and slow exhale. And so on this next one, now we're going to reach our right hand towards the left wall. And our spine's going to follow that same movement. So our head's going to stack over our left foot. And now we're going to find some decompression breaths into our right side. So we're really trying to elongate this right side. You can find a little tilt in your tailbone towards the floor. And on every inhale and exhale, see if you can reach just a little bit further. See if we can keep this breath into the right side of our rib cage, into the back side. We're going to take one more inhale and exhale. They're going to be your longest form right now. So reach your feet back, your arm forward, your head forward. Cool. You could lay a cheek on the floor now. Just take a second.
That feels good.
Cool. What I want to do is continue the series of decompression. So I want us to go into a standing decompression. So right now we're just gonna roll to our side and find our way up. And conscious of how we're getting up, so we can roll to one side of our body, whichever side you want. You can kind of curl into like a fetal position. From here, roll into your left arm, push yourself up, get onto one knee. Cool.
This zone.
That zone. So we're just gonna do our standing decompression breathing. So it's gonna be the same thing. Our feet are gonna be stacked on our column, and we're going to think about driving our heels away. We're gonna put pressure into the floor. We're gonna drive our hips back just a bit, and we're just gonna stand here and find some decompression breaths. So we're gonna follow those same patterns of breathing: the 5-second inhales, the 6-second exhales, without any strong sucking in and without any strong exhales. We're going to try to keep this soft momentum going. And once you feel like you find your back chain, so once we feel like the sides of our glutes are activating, we start finding pressure on the side laterals of our calves, we're going to find engagement into our feet. So we're going to think about those 3 points. So we have the cuboid and we have the transverse, those knuckles. We're going to try to create those knuckles, and then bring the big toe in to try to create that inner arch. And we're going to stay here for 2.5 minutes. And so we're using this as much as we want to create activation. We're trying to find expansion in our breath, to find those sticky areas in our body and see if we can breathe into those areas. How are you feeling? What are you feeling?
I feel good. I feel like it was easier to get my butt to engage.
Right.
And I can feel like a good engagement wrapping from my butt down the side of my legs, and like my feet are feeling super in the floor.
Right. Cool. So we're feeling like
And
good
I
support.
can feel opening in my like sacrum.
Uh-huh.
Like it feels like it's pulling there, like my hip bones are pulling away from my sacrum, and there's space being created there, but the outside is firing.
Right.
Like all the way down towards my feet.
Cool.
But I feel like my neck is not natural. I kind of lost my breath talking.
It's okay. A little wonky in your neck right now. So we're going to think with those exhales, we're going to try to think about creating this space between our shoulders and our neck, elongating our neck. See if we find our breath into that backside of our neck. And so it's good. We've done a lot of work to try to find this stance. So it's great, a good indicator that you're able to get into the backside right away. So now we're going to think about how can we maintain that. We got another 30 seconds. Maintain that structure, but maintain the breath to try to flow through these sticky spots. I'm going to take another 10 seconds. Cool. You can release now, you can wiggle out your legs, find some looseness. Think about when we do get out that we're not collapsing forward. So now we're gonna try to get into some rockers. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bring you this bench. And we're gonna start with the rocker series. And so we found some engagement in that standing decompression. We already found our lateral side. So now we have that feeling, so we're gonna hopefully be able to engage into this right away. So we're gonna do a minute and a half of the bilateral rockers, then we're gonna go into our single side rockers, and then we'll go into our standing decompression again, and then we'll go back into our rockers. So what I want you to do now is for about a minute, we're gonna rock, and we're gonna think about keeping our heels apart, creating space against the earth by tearing the earth apart, keeping distance between our hips and our knees, and we're going to put the weight into the lateral side of our shins, onto the top of our feet, and we're going to rock for 1 minute. So the big cue for me on this is always like keeping the hips apart. So the hips are pulling apart, the heels are pulling apart. And we're pulling with our hips back. Our glutes are what's pulling back. We're not going to be driven by our knees, by our quads. It's going to be all glutes. You're feeling good space in in the front hips?
Yeah.
Cool. Now let me know once you feel like you're finding good engagement in that backside.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We're gonna go for another 15 seconds here. And then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna hold. We're just gonna find a holding position. So in 3, 2, 1, we're gonna reach our hips back and we're just gonna hold that space for 30 seconds. And we're really gonna think about driving our hips away, our heels away, spreading the earth apart, really bringing activation into this lateral side. We're gonna be putting pressure onto the side of our shins, top of our feet, driving down. We got 15 seconds. Now, if you feel a lot of stress on your lower back, you can tuck the tailbone just a bit. 5, 4, 3. We're going to rotate to our left side. So we're going to shift our weight to our left side, keeping that hip back. And we're going to rotate our feet 6 inches to the right. So we're going to go into our lateral side. And if you want your right foot, could be right over your left. And we're going to, for a minute, we're going to rock into that left side. We're really thinking about bringing that hip back. And remember with our upper body too, right? This is also going to be part of the rotation. So our upper body could find that same C shape of when we were on the frontline decompression and we were reaching, and our head was following over our lead foot, our loading foot. Now, majority of that pressure is going to be on our left shin, lateral shin. Our right is...
I feel like I'm getting more, like some engagement in my quad.
In your quad?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know if I'm in the right position.
So what we're going to do is we're going to bring this right knee closer to our left. Right? So we're going to shift to our left. We're going to bring our hip back. And then we're going to swing our feet to the right. There we go. And now what we're going to try to think of is
That's better.
trailing with our glute. Our hip is pulling back. Our hip is pulling back.
That's better.
Is better?
Yeah. I think I didn't bring my right leg over.
Right. Yeah, so it's creating also some like probably weight on your right side as well. We're going to find this for another 20 seconds. Are you feeling it in the on the left glute?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So 10 seconds. In 5. Now we're gonna find a hold. We're just gonna hold in our left side. And we're gonna think about pressurizing the lateral side of our shin. We're gonna be here for another 20 seconds. If things get rough, then we could go back to our decompression breath. Our right foot is light, and our left side is really taking the load. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to rotate to the right side, so we're going to shift our weight to the right, and we're going to bring our hips back. And now we're going to swing our feet to the left, and we're going to put pressure into the lateral side of our shin. We're going to try to take it away from the top of our knees. And we're going to do a minute here of rocking. And again, just like that, you got the pull is from the hip, the glutes pulling back. The top of the right foot really pressing against the floor like I'm taking a rod all the way down. Here for another 30 seconds. You feeling that right side loading activated?
Yeah.
And in 10 seconds, we're just gonna we're gonna sit in that hold. So we got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just sit there. Now we're fine again. If you find a lot of stress in your lower back, you can tilt your tailbone a little bit. You can tuck it under just a bit. Really driving that lateral side of the shin down, the foot down. Your hamstring should be firing, your glutes should be firing. We're going to be here for another 10 seconds. Two, 1. Fired up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, just
Yeah.
you can take a second here and just kind of shift right to left, see if we can find some space. Try to still keep that weight on our shins, right? On the lateral sides of our shins, not the top of our knees. That's when we start going into our front body. Just rotate, find some space. And when you find a second, get yourself up, and we're going to get back to this standing decompression. Cool. We're going to do again 2.5 minutes of this standing decompression. So you can stand even closer, we don't have to stand so far back.
Yeah.
And what we're going to do, just like we did last time, feet underneath your column, you're going to bring your hip back, and then we're going to start engaging. Just finding that breath. So we activated, now we're going to try to calm everything down by finding our decompression breath. Again, these same patterns exist whether we're on the floor, we're standing up, or we're rocking. It's the same foundational patterns. We're going to find engagement into our feet. Our feet are going to be pressing against the floor. Our heels are going to want to be pulling apart. There we go. Now we find this shake. So wherever we're shaking in our body, see if we can bring our breath into that area. back to this because I want us to work to be able to hold these stands for like 10, 15 minutes at a time. Finding those hips apart. There we go. We got another minute. 50 seconds. Use that exhale to really create space. There we go. Working the lateral blades of your feet. We got just about 20 seconds. No. All right, David. In 5, 4, find your last exhale. Let's just slowly move out. We're just gonna walk around a little bit. There. Let's wrinkle out our feet. Let's move around our feet. Let's just find some space. And then we're gonna find our way back to the mat. We're gonna go back to these same rockers and we're gonna do the same sequence that we just went through. So when we're going into those single lateral rockers, single leg rockers, we're going to shift to whatever side our loading leg is. Then we're going to bring our hip back and our feet are going to move away about 6 inches to the opposite side. So both knees are facing the same way. And then if we feel, when I feel like if I'm engaging and I'm stuck into my hip flexors, it's height or I'm too much forward, so I'm too pronounced on my knees. So I'm thinking, how do I bring that weight back to the lateral side of my shin? And so we're gonna keep that in mind. And so these are all little cues, like when we're feeling discomforts in our body, we're asking, okay, how are we dumping? In what way are we dumping and how can we get out of it? So we're going to do the bilateral rockers. So we're going to rock for a minute. After that minute's done, we're going to hold. We're going to hold on for another 30 seconds. Really think about pulling those heels apart, pulling the hips apart. I'm going to adjust you just real quickly so my brain. There we go, that left foot a little bit closer. Lead with the hips, lead with the glutes. That's what's pulling and pushing in this movement right now. Pressing the top of the feet down against the floor. And in 5 seconds, we're going to find the load. 2, 1, and we're just going to find that loaded position. I'm going to be here for 30 seconds. This is a really good time when we're loading. We're thinking, how are we pulling our shins apart? How are our heels moving away from each other? Really trying to find all that activation into the side. We're going to be here for another 5 seconds. And in 5 seconds, we're going to rotate to the left. We're going to shift our weight in 2, 1. We're going to shift it to the left side until we could kind of find that moment where we're unbalanced. And so we want to be able to be in a balanced position here on one leg. And then we're going to bring our hip back and we're going to swing our legs. There we go. And then the top of that right leg could sit on front, on the left. And there we go. Yeah, we're going to find, I see you're finding it right here on the side. We're going to be here rocking for 1 minute. Things are going to get juicy right now. And so we know is that grunt. We don't want to get stuck in our breath. We want to savor it, so we want to find like a good flow. So find good inhales equal exhales. See if we can slow the rocks down just a little bit. There we go. We got 20 seconds. In 20 seconds, we're gonna just drop to our load and we're just gonna hold the load. We got another 15 seconds. Really driving that shin down, the top of that left foot down. In 3, 2, 1, we're gonna find that load and hold this for 30 seconds. How you feeling?
Burning.
Burning. Alright, we got 10 seconds and then we're gonna shift to our right side single rockers. 2, 1. There we go. Now we're gonna shift to the right side until we find that space of imbalance, and then we're gonna pull off just a bit. We're gonna bring our right hip back, and we can bring our knees a little bit closer to each other, and we're gonna swing 6 inches to the left, our left foot on top of our right, and our right foot really driving down, the lateral side of our shin really driving down, and now we're gonna lead with our hip. We're gonna see, is our head stacked over our right knee? There we go. We're halfway there. Another 30 seconds. Burning?
Yeah.
Find the breath, find the ease when things are burning. In 10 seconds, we're going to hold into the load position of our single side rockers. And now hold it for 30 seconds. Really don't forget about driving that shin down, the top of the foot down. We got 15 seconds.